Welcome to USFTV's first sports broadcast of the new school year. We start this show with the USF Dons lady volleyball team as they played host in a weekend series. The first game they played on Friday night was against the University of Pennsylvania. USFTV's reporter Billy Conlon has the game.
On September 26th, the Lady Dons hosted the University of Pennsylvania, coming out here all the way from the Ivy League. USF got out to a sluggish start, which led the team to drop the first two sets of the match. Heading into the locker room, the USF Lady Dons looked very frustrated. But coming back out after halftime, the USF team looked very much together. With the help of the great fan base of Los Locos, they were able to handily win the next three sets, including finishing off the final set 15-6 to complete their big come-from-behind win. After the game, I caught up with junior libero Haley Carroll. Here at War Memorial Gym, we're sitting here with junior Haley Carroll of the USF women's volleyball team. Haley, a big victory tonight. The team went down 2-0 going into the break there. I just want to know what type of adjustments or words that were said to have the team come out and win the last three straight sets pretty dominant fashion there.
We just went downstairs and our coach was just like, girls, you have to settle down. They played really well. They were picking up everything and putting balls away, and I think that they had an extremely well-played game, but we just reminded ourselves that we have to get stuff done on our own side and not worry about when they're getting our balls up. We have to just keep going after and rally with them. And I think once we started doing that, balls were being put away first time, and we got the momentum and we just kept it, and that's what our team does best. So.
One more game tomorrow night versus Seattle University before we get into league play. How do you feel the team's playing now, getting ready to head into the league play?
I think we're ready. We've been practicing really hard, doing a lot of work, so we've just been putting it to use out on the court, and I think we're extremely ready to go into conference, and we want to end this weekend with a big win.
Now, little personal standpoint here, second in USF career digs on the all-time list. How does that feel to be up there on the list with all the grades?
It feels good. I don't really pay attention to a lot of my stats, but I mean, it's really nice to have Greg and Ryan, people on our staff come up and say you're doing great, here you come, and it's good to have supporters, so I like it.
Well, thanks, Haley. A big win here tonight for the Dons, coming back down 2-0 to take the set 3-2 and a big win over Pennsylvania tonight.
Thanks, Billy. After that thrilling game on Friday night, the Dons then faced Seattle University on Saturday evening, as Matt Lucio, USFTV's new reporter, was at the game.
USF women's volleyball team on September 27th took on Seattle University to play their last non-conference game of the season. The Dons had an impressive win over Seattle, sweeping the match in three straight sets, 25-10, 25-17, and 25-15. Haley Carroll had a good outing for the Dons with a match-high 17 digs along with a career-high 6 aces. Sophomore Sarah Mandela helped the Dons on offense with 9 kills, along with 4 digs and a pair of blocks. Senior Carly Babin had a good weekend after shattering the single-match blocks record the night before, came back into tonight's game with 8 kills. I was able to talk to Carly after the game about the record, as well as starting conference play.
I'm here with Carly Babin. What were some of the keys to tonight's game for you guys' success?
It's important for us to just play our game and have high energy. That's all it takes.
And last night you broke the season's, 15 blocks in one game.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel on that?
I'm pretty excited about it. I've been kind of slow with my blocking this season, so it was good to get back in that and just get my blocking game back.
How do you guys like playing at home versus being on the road?
It's great when we have all of our fans here and just cheering for us. We have a rowdy crowd and they get intense and they get in the heads of the other team, so it helps us out a lot. They have a lot to do with all of our vital wins, and hopefully they can keep that going all season, and we'll just continue to get good home wins.
Thanks, Matt. USF Ladies Volleyball starts WCC League play on October 2nd home in War Memorial Gym against Portland. Billy Conlon will be there at that game covering it here for USFtv Sports. So now staying on topic of women's sports, we now switch our focus over to ladies soccer as the Dons played host to the University of Pacific last week over at Negosco Field.
Dons keeper Kelly Pohl had a season-high 8 saves, but couldn't stop Pacific's Laura Hogan's first-half shot, giving the Tigers an early lead. The Dons had numerous scoring opportunities, but eventually lost a hard-fought battle to Pacific 1-0.
The Lady Dons are still looking for their first home win of the season and will have that chance on October 5th against Cal State Bakersfield. Now we'll turn our focus to men's soccer as they hosted the Nike BMW Challenge here on September 19th and 21st. There were 4 teams involved, including the Dons, University of Las Vegas, Penn State, and St. Mary's of California.
The first game of the challenge on Friday evening saw St. Mary's of California versus Penn State. Both teams got out to quick starts with multiple scoring chances early in the game, but none could find the back of the net. As the game went into overtime at 0-0, St. Mary's had one last scoring opportunity but could not convert on the free kick as the game ended in a 0-0 tie. USF played the University of Las Vegas in their opener of the challenge. A missed call early on in the match eventually decided the game's outcome. From that point on, both teams could not create many scoring chances as the thick San Francisco fog made tough field conditions, as Game 2 of the challenge also ended in a 0-0 tie. On Sunday, USF's Connor Chin and Brian Burke each scored early goals, giving the Dons a quick lead against Penn State. Both teams grew frustrated, though, towards the end of the game and committed pointless fouls, ending in injuries and penalties. Luckily, the Dons held their composure and held on for the win, 2-0.
The following week, the Dons traveled across the bay to play Berkeley in what would be their final game before WCC play starts. USFTV's Natalie Zanni was there with the coverage.
On September 26th, our men's soccer team headed over to Berkeley for a final game before the West Coast Conference against a strong Cal team ranked 6th in the country. The Dons put up a strong fight, dominating the first half with 6 shots on goals and 4 corner kicks, but not capitalizing on these opportunities. At the end of the first half, the score was tied 0-0. It looked like the Dons would come back out and score quickly. However, after a red card was handed to California, the Golden Bears picked up the pace and scored 2 back-to-back goals against USF, leaving the score at 2-0 in their favor at the end. After the game, I had a chance to interview head coach Eric Visser.
We're here with head coach Eric Visser, and it was a tough loss against a competitive Cal, but how do you feel your team held up against them?
Well, as you said, Cal is probably one of the top teams in the country. Earlier this year, they beat University of Maryland 1-0 at the UCLA tournament. So we knew it was going to be a very tough game, but we had a very good game plan. I thought the first half we were clearly the better team. We had about 2 or 3 really good opportunities, and I think we should have been up 1 or 2 goals. But we know against a good team, against Cal Berkeley, if you keep him hanging around, in the second half, they're going to come out hard. The second half, they stepped up the pace, the pressure on the ball a little bit, and I think we got rattled a little bit. When they got a red card, actually we got rattled a little bit. It was a little bit disappointing, but overall I thought it was a good effort, and I think we're on track to have a good showing in conference.
And how do you feel about the pre-WCC game?
Obviously when you look at the record, it's not a good record. We got off to a slow start for a variety of reasons. We didn't have our whole squad together till about 2 weeks ago, so we have only played the last 4 games with our entire squad. I think the team is coming along well. We're integrating 5 new players into our starting lineup compared to last year. I think it's a young, very promising team, and I think it's just a matter of for them gelling a little bit more together to really have a good showing in conference.
And what are your goals for this season?
Well, our goals are clear. We want to win the conference. There's no question about it. I think the reality is, you look at the records of the other WCC teams. Many are similar to us. They're in the same boat. Santa Clara is 1-4-2. USD is a very good team. They're 0-5-2. So I think the West Coast Conference Championship is wide open. And I think our team is very confident that if we stay the course that we can do very well in conference, and our goal is very clear, is to win the conference.
For USFtv, this is Natalie Zanni.
Thanks, Natalie. The men begin league play here at home on October 10th against St. Mary's. Well, that's the Sports Report. For everyone at USFtv and the Sports Department, I'm Jack Shifley. Thank you for tuning in.